Hello, today we're here to take a brief look at the CRM Ag Manager's customer contract functionality. This is functionality that allows us to record a customer contract, which will later become a sales order, and we'll be able to ship product to the customer based on that order. I'm going to just log here into CRM. Once in CRM, I'm just going to go ahead and pull up one of our customers. You can tell that it's a customer, of course, because it says customer here. We can see their customer number as well as other information about them. To access contract information, we'll click on the Customer Contract tab. What we see here is a list of existing contracts. If we wanted to click on one of them to view information about it, we certainly could. But I'm going to go ahead and click New to create a new contract. The new contract window is opened. You can see here that the customer is already selected. We can choose from a contact person at that organization if we want to. We can enter in a name for the contract. That's optional. The conditions and terms, these are additional conditions and terms that you can enter that will appear on the printed contract. They're optional. You can put them in there, things like quality, for example. Any kind of conditions that you might want. Credit terms, so that's what you would be paying on. The currency will be automatically selected if you've chosen an existing customer, as the customer has a defined contract. But if this was the first contract and they were not yet a customer, you'd be able to choose what currency you were going to be selling in. Freight on board, that would be as you wanted it to be, and then the details of the contract. Now, contracts can be in two modes, single product or multi-contract, and you can determine in the system configuration which one you want to use for your organization. This particular copy of the system is configured in single product mode, so we can define one product. So we can choose our grain, the variety of grain, brown flax, the grade, number 1. Then you can choose which specific inventory item it is that you would be selling. So for example, if you were going to sell 25 kg bags or 2,000 pound totes, you could do that, or bulk. So if I'm going to go ahead here and choose human edible number 1 brown flax in 25 kg bags, I can go ahead and choose that. My pricing method can be based on units or weight. If I choose units, then this would be in bags, as this item is in bags. And I could say I want 200 of these bags, and that's how it could be done. And then I would put a price per bag, for example, $15.50, okay? And then calculate the extended price. Now the alternative is you could do it in weight. So you could say, for example, that you wanted 25 metric tons of the product, and then the price in tons, for example, $600 per metric ton, and calculate the extended price. Either way, you end up with a weight of the material. So if it was 25 kg bags and you got 10 of them, of course that would be 250 kgs or 0.25 metric tons. So you can price things and quantify them either way that you'd like. Then the start day that deliveries would be made on this particular contract, let's say for the month of July. And that's what it is. So that defines how much of the product you're going to sell and the price that you're going to charge for it. Below, you can define what documents should be generated anytime a shipment is made on this particular product. So if we say an invoice should be generated, and there should be one original and perhaps one copy, a file copy that goes to someone, and a bill of lading, there may be one of them and no additional copies. And you can have as many different documents generated as you would like, and you can determine how many originals and how many of copies. The copies could, for example, go to a customs broker, shipping company, freight forwarder, etc. And the difference between the two is the originals will just say, for example, invoice or bill of lading, and the copies would say the same, but there would be like a copy stamp watermark on top of them. That all depends on how you format your documents, but that's the general idea. If you need to add more documents than the 5 that are allowed, you certainly can click Add More and do that. And if you only have less than 5, you just don't fill in those particular lines. To save our contract, we just click Save, and then we can view the contract here in View Only mode. Now, when we first create a contract, it's in a stage of workflow where this contract is not yet active, and it won't be active until we have signed the contract and had it countersigned by the customer. So you can see that there's options down here to cancel the contract if you wanted to do that, or to mark it as signed. There's also an edit button that you can edit it, and a print button that you can use to print it. If I click print, then it'll go ahead and actually generate the contract document that you've configured in the system. Now, once I've printed the document and sent it for signature and received that signature and countersigned it on our end, I would then hit the contract signed button to go ahead and begin that process. So let's go ahead and give that a try. So I'm going to click contract signed. Again, this assumes that you've already printed it, signed it, and had the customer sign it. And then what we have is the opportunity to upload a copy of that signed contract. So the idea is that you would scan the signed document, create a PDF or an image file, and then you could go ahead and upload it. So to do that, we click Browse. We would go to the location where our document is found. I have a PDF here. I'll choose it, hit Open to select it. Then I'm going to choose who at the customer made the signature. So this implies that you have your contact database is up to date. So I'll say that Jane Buyer signed it on their end. And on our side, I'll say that it was me who went ahead and signed it. And I'll say when it was signed, just like on a contract, you usually put the date it was signed and who signed it. We signed it countersigned on the other side on the same date. And then I hit Continue. At that point, then the contract is complete and it's active in the system. Within a few minutes or hours, depending on how you have the system configured, this contract will be pushed into Sage 300 as an open order in order entry, and you'll be ready to start shipping against it. That's all that there is in terms of creating and managing contracts in the CRM Agriculture Manager. Thank you.